6:53, Alabama's Morning News. I'm JT. Boy, I tell you, it seems every time you take a step these days, we're running into more of a Biden controversy, including his son, Hunter Biden. His emails now reveal, boy, all kinds of things about Hunter Biden, including slams on Bill Clinton and attack on some aides. And he's back in the news again. Joining us now to talk a little bit more about this, Chief of Staff at Young Americans for Liberty, Sean Themea is here. Sean, welcome back in. Thanks for being here.
JC, thanks for having me.
So what's the latest? I saw the emails. You know, we've all seen and heard about these emails, and now there's more being unveiled about what Hunter Biden is up to?
Yeah, well, I will self-censor on that because the FCC, I can't let big tech shut your show down, but in these emails, Hunter rips Bill Clinton as an a-hole who looks like fecal matter, right? Says Clinton aides are greedy, petty, double-dipping on salaries. I mean, talk about projection on that one.
Yeah.
And then you've got him making fun of the fact that you got Hunter making fun of the fact that Bill Clinton was ripped during Black Lives Matter protests, right? I mean, we're talking about the son of the guy who wrote the infamous 1994 crime bill. So I love it when some of the worst people in the world fight. It's free entertainment. But I got to tell you, JP, the Bidens and the Clintons, these are prime examples of people with power mishandling their influence. And that should be a wake-up call for a lot of people across the country.
Well, we're all awake and aware of it. It just seems that nobody's ever held accountable when it comes to the Clintons and the Bidens and anybody else in the Democratic tent. It just doesn't get prosecuted. It just doesn't go anywhere. Do you believe that now with everything happening around the Hunter Biden scenario that maybe somebody will ultimately be held accountable for what he was doing? The president continues to deny any knowledge of his business dealings, including with his business partner, Eric Schwerin, who is now the Chief Deputy Attorney General in Delaware. Now he's coming to the forefront. Is anybody going to really be held accountable for anything going on here with these people?
Well, look, I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but there's reason for optimism in the criminal justice system. You've got Trump-appointed judges like Catherine Mizell just overturning the federal mask mandate. That's one judge just following the Constitution,
right,
who had that ripple effect, right? So you don't think some things could ever happen, and they do. But when you've got a deep state, you know, this deep and this wide, I don't want to get my hopes up too high that he'll ever be held accountable, at least while Biden is still in office. But the fact that this investigation is being opened up, I mean, that's more than I could have ever asked for.
Well, I would imagine payback is going to be, you know what they say, come midterms, if in fact the Republicans take control of the House and the Senate. You remember what happened with Nadler and Schiff when they came after President Trump. It was just a witch hunt like nobody's ever seen. But that could potentially happen to the Bidens when the midterms hopefully will bring a change.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, I've seen some hardcore freedom fighters running for Congress who part of their platform is day one, I will file impeachment articles against Biden. I will vote for that impeachment. So we will see if those people make it over the finish line. But I think you're right. I mean, I think that they're going to be held accountable, at least in the public court, more than ever before. I don't want to get too optimistic about fighting the deep state and the criminal justice system just because time and time again we are disappointed on that front.
Yeah, the deep state is a lot deeper than we realize. And, who is that deep state? Anybody from George Soros to the Obamas and everybody in between, and State Department officials as well. But it's not politics, it doesn't seem. A lot of times with the deep state, those folks that are up there are bureaucratic appointees or have been in office inside the Beltway for years and years and years, and they stay below the radar, and they just operate and continue to operate. One of these days, congressmen that know what's going on with the deep state are going to expose all of that, and you know it's coming as well as I do. All right, I appreciate your input this morning. Sean Themea, Chief of Staff at Young Americans for Liberty. Good stuff. 6:58, Alabama's Morning News. Top of the hour news with Fox and Leah, and traffic and weather together coming up. Stay here.